It may have been the long weekend here in Alberta, but our friends at People vs. Predators did not take a single day off. They were busy warning Alberta communities about recently released sex offenders, suspected and convicted, and they were doing their best to put these people back in jail. People vs. Predators is a citizen activist group based in Edmonton, Alberta. Now, the mainstream media has described them as vigilantes, but here's how they describe themselves. People vs. Predators consists of individuals from all walks of life who have come together with a common goal and interest to advocate for victims, invoke change, and to ensure community safety. Now, I'll tell you what they do, and then you can tell me if these people are vigilantes. They do two very important, tangible things to keep communities safe. First, they warn neighborhoods that a convicted sex offender is being released into their midst through pamphleting, community awareness barbecues, and protests. And then secondarily, they work to show prosecutors that neighborhoods have concerns about alleged sex offenders being released into communities on bail as they await trial or sentencing. These concerns are represented in the form of hand-collected signatures on petitions. These petitions can be presented at bail hearings and can be used as grounds to revoke bail. And it has worked in a few cases already. In one case, the offender even volunteered to have his own bail revoked because the offender, Wade Steen, couldn't handle the peaceful pressure People vs. Predators was putting on him. And even though many people were off enjoying the last long weekend of the summer, People vs. Predators were out warning communities. They were invited 2 hours south of Edmonton to Red Deer to collect signatures to keep a suspected pedophile in jail. Brandon Conlon has been charged with child luring, sexual assault, sexual interference, and possession of child pornography. Conlon remains in custody until his next court appearance on September 14th. And People vs. Predators plans to be ready at that bail hearing to show a judge the community wants Conlon in jail. Now, I caught up with Sherry Easton, one of the admins with People vs. Predators in downtown Red Deer, Alberta, on Saturday. Just what? So, Sherry, who's the bad guy today?
So today we're in Red Deer dealing with Brandon Conlon. He's 30 years old. He was arrested July 31st. He's being charged with 4 different charges. So sexual interference, sexual assault, possession of child pornography, and luring a child. It was a 15-year-old victim local to Red Deer. He's also local. He's currently being held in remand until his next court date, which is September 14th. And we were contacted by some of our members here in Red Deer asking if we'd come down and do anything. We expect that he'll likely request bail on the 14th when he goes back to court, and we expect he'll likely get it. So we came down, we put together a petition requesting that they deny his bail. We'll be submitting this to the Crown Attorney's Office on Tuesday, and we've been here since yesterday. So we've been petitioning. We've collected well over 100 signatures. I'm actually really surprised. In just 2 days we were able to get that many, but tons of support, tons of people that are really happy that we came here to do this. So.
And I just want to make it clear, or maybe you can do that you didn't come down here on your own. People vs. Predators, you guys were invited to Red Deer to do this.
Yeah, so no, we've been asked by local members here a couple times to come down to Red Deer and host events and do awareness and so on and so forth. And it was when this specific predator was brought to our attention that we had very good reason, I felt, to come down. So 4 of us actually loaded up, drove down. 2 of us came up yesterday. We had a couple more people meet us up here today. We've had our shirts on and our swag, and we're walking around letting people know who we are, asking them to join our Facebook group, get involved, and everyone, like I said, has been very accepting to what we're doing. So
now, Sherry, normally when I talk to you and you're talking to people, you tell me that people are surprised that there are people in their communities that are alleged to have done these things. Is that holding true here in Red Deer?
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing I ask when I meet people is, hi, have you heard about Brandon Conlon? And most people look at me and they're like, huh? And so I explain to them that he's a child predator. He's been charged with, I guess, charges that would say that he's a child predator, or I guess allege that he's a child predator. We ask if they're aware. I've had maybe a handful of people tell me that yes, they have heard about him in the news. There's been a little bit of media, mostly just news reports, I guess papers writing about it, not actual media on it. We can't find a photo of this guy anywhere, so unfortunately we're not able to plaster that around like we normally would. But like I said, I've had about maybe 3 or 4 people say, yeah, we heard about it in the news, kind of. Yeah, we're concerned. Yes, we want to sign. Everybody else, the other 100 signatures, had no clue who this guy was. They had no idea that there was an offense. The police actually, on their website, when they posted their police report, they actually attached a link, a website that they're actually asking parents to go to that website because this guy was luring children online. So they're asking people to go to this website and look at this information. They put information there to try and help parents keep their children safe. But unfortunately, nobody's aware that this is even posted on their website or that they've attached these links. So we actually printed out 50 copies of those links, and we've been handing them out to people signing the petitions, anyone with children, just trying to get that information out there, because that's the whole point of them posting it, I'm assuming, is that they want the locals to have that information. So we're here trying to get it to them, and they're very thankful that we're doing it, because they had no idea that this information was being posted on their websites for them to keep their children safe.
And this time, it's a little different than what you normally do, in that you petition to have bail revoked after the fact. You're sort of being proactive this time, anticipating that this person is going to get bail for any number of reasons, including the coronavirus. You're going to be ready when that bail hearing is.
Yeah, so like I said, he has court on the 14th, and we expect that he'll be going forward with a bail application, which is generally what happens. And so we're going to be submitting this petition on Tuesday, which will give the Crown plenty of time to review it prior to his court date. And it shouldn't have any issues with them using these concerns that we put in this petition, the grounds that we've listed in this petition, to use these to actually deny his bail. So yeah, currently he doesn't have bail, and yeah, we want to make sure he doesn't get released, so that way we're not here petitioning the revocation, because that's a little bit more complicated. That's a whole nother application, where they don't actually have to put forward an application, they can just deny it. So it's much simpler, and like I said, we're putting the information out there. We're trying to get this done beforehand, keep the community safe before it becomes an issue.
But that wasn't the only predator the people were warning of. The next day, Sunday, I caught up to Mike Mayer of People vs. Predators at a community awareness barbecue event back in Edmonton for Creep Curtis Poberin. He's the child sex offender with a decades-long criminal history of offenses against kids. He was released in June without conditions, and by July, he was charged with a new offense. And now he's out on bail. Poberin should have been a dangerous offender a long time ago. Take a look at this. Mike, what are we up to today?
All right, today is a little bit of a community awareness barbecue to let the community know about Curtis Poberin. He's currently on bail in this area, so it was one way for us to get out here to be able to tell everyone that this guy's out here, open some eyes. We fly the entire neighborhood, 200 notices, so we're getting a lot of community support to get out here. The big thing going forward with this is that through the petition is to be able to press to have the Crown deny his bail. So that's kind of the end game for him. This week, this petition, we already have hundreds and hundreds of signatures. We're going to go forward and bring those to the Crown prosecutors this week. From there, hopefully his bail gets denied. After that, it's the next guy. Because, right now our inbox is full.
Now, you're doing more than just community awareness. I see Sherry over there helping teach some kids about how to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, so she runs a child self-defense class. It's kind of like one of the big, more popular events that we host. From there, it's two things. One, to give kids skills to be able to run away if they're ever put in a situation that we're trying to stop. Or the other one is to give parents, to give them awareness, to let them know that, basically to give the skills that a lot of times it's difficult for parents to teach their kids. Obviously you don't want to let your kids, get into violence or stuff like that. But at the same time, you want to be able to teach your kids that if they're ever in a stranger danger situation or put in a situation like this, how to react and get, find a safe place to run to, be able to identify, safe places or a neighbor's house to run to. And it's important because, like I said, a lot of this stuff is very hard to talk about sometimes, but it is important.
And even though it is a long weekend, and I caught up with Sherry yesterday in Red Deer, and you guys are back in Edmonton today. From what I understand, you are pamphleting the neighborhood or neighborhoods again this weekend.
Yeah, so this one, the next case that we're going to go to is this guy right here. So this guy, Gordon Adams, is in the Inglewood neighborhood. So we're going to go through next week, give out some notices just around that community to let them know about that. And stay tuned, because next weekend we've got another protest planned, and it should be a big one.
Now, Gordon Adams, what kind of guy is he? What did he do?
This guy is like your typical serial killer in the making. 100%. He is. He's done voyeurism. He's done break and enters. He's break and enter to pick up girls' underwear and stuff like that. He's now gotten to the level of assault. So it's one step after another. So big thing is, we got to tell the community and let them aware that this guy's out there, because he does pose a threat. 100%.
And again, where can people get information about what People vs. Predators is up to next?
So, of course, you can check us on our Facebook group, People vs. Predators, or check us on our website, peopleversuspredator.ca. We always put new updates and posts and different advisories and stuff like that. Plus, that's a good way to let people know where we're going to be at and what our next event is, because, awareness is key.
And how can people support what you're doing?
They can support us basically, just share the videos. Check us out, share with your friends, talk to your neighbors, because the bigger this movement becomes, the more we get out there. Our plan is, of course, to go national and down the road to change legislation, because as much as we feel that we're helping the community right now, we want to help every community in Canada. We want to help every neighborhood in Canada, and it's important. So share the videos. That's all I can say until we can get established, become bigger, and then move from there to change some laws, save some kids.
People vs. Predators have told me they are so grateful for the outpouring of support they've received from our Rebel viewers and the interest in the work that they do to keep communities safe. Unfortunately, there's no shortage of creeps being released and suspected pedophiles getting bail into unsuspecting communities. Alberta's prison population was down 35% in June. The pandemic is making it easier than ever for dangerous people to get COVID release from prisons and jails for their own safety, putting the safety of our kids at risk. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. The treatment People vs. Predators has received in the mainstream media is the reason I have a job at all. I have to tell the other side of this story, the story you can't get from the mainstream media. Now, there's a really easy way for you to help us do that. Just like and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and ring the little bell so you never miss a story. And if you're so inclined, consider becoming a subscriber to Rebel News Plus. That's what we call our long-form TV-style shows here on Rebel News. Just go to rebelnews.com/subscribe to join today.